The views and opinions of this broadcast do not reflect the views and opinions of Armed Media, New Productions, and its affiliates. Enjoy the show.
I'm a big fish, a small pond, days free and my nights long. I create my own reality. Who I am is fine with me. I'm as famous, I'm as famous as I wanna be. Who I am is fine with me. It's who I am. It's who I am.
Hi everybody, it's Maria from What's the Story with Maria. How's it going? Happy New Year. Hey Danielle. Danielle says, hey Maria and Leo, happy, healthy, and blessed New Year. Same to you, my friend. Leo and I were going through, he was saying, Leo, come pop on with me and tell me what you said about 2023.
Happy and free in 2023.
Happy and free in 2023. That is, Leo has started that motto, and I'm loving it. Sean Patrick Murtaugh has joined us.
Hi, Sean.
Sean, if I could reach it, I would, because then I'd have to get up. But I literally have your album in my CD player. It's up there. I want you to, let me see if I can, so he believes me. I have the cover right up there. There he is, next to my grandma.
Hubba, hubba.
Oh, he's so cute. But
hey, that's an empty table there, Maria.
What?
That's an empty table almost
no,
there.
There's almost. There's stuff. But I got to tell you, Sean, I love your album. I gave it to my cousin Rena as part of her Christmas present. I gave it to my Ziana as part of her Christmas present because they were big Mario Lanza fans. I gave it to my dad, and I have a copy. And just amazing. It's so beautiful. But I got to tell you, not just because I'm Italian and, Mario Lanza was, but your voice is so powerful and beautiful and non-threatening. Because sometimes certain voices are very powerful, but they're overpowering. Not overpowering, just beautiful. I can't say enough about Sean Patrick Murtaugh, who does have a show coming up. Sean, type it in, please. I know you have a show coming up. I want to say the 16th at Green Room 42. So why don't you type that in so we can plug your show? So Leo and I were talking earlier, as we do before the show starts, about so many. Oh, here's Bill Goffey. Ciao, tutti. Ciao, Bill. Kenny Holcomb has joined. Okay, the 26th. We'll keep plugging away and let people know about the 26th at 7 p.m. Green Room 42. Fantastic. Oh, there's Bill Goffey. Bill, have you heard Sean Patrick Murtaugh's CD? Mind-blowing. You can also stream it, I'm sure, on on Spotify and Apple Music and all that. It's just beautiful. It's just beautiful. And it will, you know what it did for me, Sean? It made me want to be a better singer. I'm a good singer. I hold my own, but it made me want to work harder at getting better at what I do. Because that is the voice of someone who works daily on their craft. Haven't heard the CD. I feel alone and neglected. Bill, oh my God. You are not alone and neglected. Sean,
I was just harassing him earlier today on a phone call, so I know he's not neglected.
No. I will get you a Sean Patrick Murtaugh CD as a present from me. How about that? So, Sean, I'm putting an order in for another CD. Okay. So,
Maria, how was your New Year's?
My New Year's was wonderful because I was working at Brandy's, my favorite place I've ever worked in my life. I just love it there. I work at a lot of great places, and I'm proud of all the places I work. But I got to tell you, Brandy's is just in my heart, in my heart, in my heart. Jim, the owner, is amazing, and everyone that I work with is incredible. I worked with Lauren Muffson, Bobby Belfry that night, and John Bronson, who has blown up. I was going to say is blowing up. He has blown up He's working on so many things.
He's on the new musical Jimmy Cliff, or The Harder They Come, I believe.
The Harder They Come, yeah.
Yeah, I love that song.
At the public. I remember working the door many times on New Year's Eve, says Kenny Holcomb. Yep, Kenny, you did. That's a very important job.
Well, here, we did a little bit of karaokeing at our rustic theater.
I love it. Go ahead. That's
They got me out of retirement. So there was dancing. It's like probably about, 300 seats in the theater, because it's our movie theater up here. So the rustic
theater. Sounding good, Leo. Sounding good.
Out of retirement there. But the rustic theater up here in Idlewild, they host comedy events as well as our movies. And there you can see their page there.
Oh, I love that. Leo, would you ever consider doing a cabaret show up there?
I've thought about it. I'm still working on the next piece in the trilogy, but I don't know that it's set up yet.
Oh, but how about that theater, the Desert Rose Theater?
Well, the Desert Rose Theater is closed down.
Oh.
We heard that last time from Mr. Electricity. Yeah, from Terry Ray, he told us. But they are in a new theater because he just opened up and closed his new play about Lincoln, because there were some rumors about Lincoln back in the day.
Wow.
And he explored it, and he wrote a play about it, and it's gotten some great reviews down there. But they've got a new theater starting, and I'm not sure exactly where it's at. But up here, what I'd like Idlewild to become is a place where, because Palm Springs is just down the hill. Yeah. I think it would be great. You remember when people used to go to Summerstock to try a show and run it before they? I think Idlewild would be a great place for that. We have Idlewild School of the Arts up here.
Yeah, but also your show is amazing, Leo. Your one-man show is so good. I know. I directed it.
Well, that's why it was one of the reasons it was so good. Listen, I had a great team.
I did a great job of directing, but I got to say the material was pretty flawless.
And Bill Goffey was he was really good.
Listen, cranky as Bill Goffey can be, he's an excellent musical director.
Yeah,
that's it. That's all I'm saying nice about him. You don't want him to get a big head.
I think that our shows up here, I think with the people that we have up here, somebody like, actually a Jimmy Webb salute would be great up here. But Carolyn Montgomery has been promising that at some point she would do her show. Oh my God, I can't think of the artist right now. Clooney. And she does a great Rosemary Clooney show. I think that would be great up here for our audience and such.
Yeah, Idlewild is like, Palm Springs is like, kind of like Greenwich Village of the West Coast.
Well, and one of the things that people don't realize about Idlewild, especially if you've been watching Hallmark movies as of recently, we're in a lot of those Christmas movies. We're in a lot of those at this little town, as well as back in the day. This is where Elvis and all the country back in Garner Valley, right around the corner from here. When you drive through, you see the big mountains and everything. That's where they used to film a lot of the stuff up here.
Rachel Lansing, a.k.a. Alexis Hunter, talks about that in her book.
Mm-hmm.
Talks about Palm Springs and all of that in her book a lot.
And I bet you who else knows a little bit about that is Miss Alana Go Boom.
Miss Alana Go Boom is from here. That's right. Now let's say hello to Taylor Patty has checked in. Hi, Taylor. Who else do we have? We have my cousin Rena Crinali-Berge. Oh my God,
Weather Girl.
Leo calls you Weather Girl. Rena, I want to talk to you about the third Tuesday in January on our special show. Wink, wink. And I'll fill you in later, Leo. And Cora, I might need you for that as well. Cora Gauthier, my cousin, one of my favorite human beings that ever lived, is joined us. She's fabulous. She said, I love you guys. She's in Florida right now. She is in Hollywood, Florida. And I might be going down there maybe in the spring to see her. Danielle says, yes, who I believe she's talking about Lincoln, yes, he had interesting diaries too, and also predicted his death. Wow. Lincoln always gives me the chills, kind of like the spooky chills, because he was so powerful and yet he lived such a secretive life. He was
I don't know if the word is prolific is correct, but in that time he was one of those one of those beings that more educated than the rest of a lot of people, and
Right.
and really felt I believe, the human plight of existence with what he
Yeah.
had to deal with.
Yeah.
I mean, you
Yeah.
know,
And he took chances that most presidents would not have taken. And I mean, it cost him his life. Same thing with Kennedy, if you think about it. Like, it's always, I was talking with Judy today. She was like, why is it always the good people that try to do good for the world that end up paying the price for it? Like, why is doing the right thing the price to pay? Victor Flores, Happy New Year, Maria. Victor, I have you on every single list dealing with the show. Call Victor Flores, book Victor Flores, talk to Victor Flores. He is playing. I'm starting to realize that Victor Flores is playing hard to get with me.
you might have to order from the restaurant and have him deliver.
Oh, well, Victor is the executive chef at Joe Allen, Orso, and Bar Centrale. But not just that.
He's
He
got
and I-
so much time to spare.
Yes, and he and I used to battle about our football teams quite a bit. But Victor Flores has a new line of products that I really want to promote on the show. If these products are anything like his recipes and his cooking, we're all buying them. We're all buying them in 2023. So, Victor, let's talk. Even if you're too shy to be on the show, at least send me some promos about your products, and I will talk about them. I promise.
You could be on the phone, Victor, and we'll be eating your food while we're talking.
Oh my God, what a good idea. All right, listen, this is what I suggest, because we have so much to talk about tonight, but Leo and I are chatty Cathy's tonight.
We are.
Why don't we bring on our first guest, who has been on our show before, but he is running an incredible series with so many talented people.
Fabulous Fish Fridays, right?
And this is a first show of the first new year, so we want to talk about first. Fabulous first.
He's working with my Yazzie.
I know, so let's bring him on, shall we? Is he in the green room?
Hi.
He is
Oh my
in the
God.
green room.
Gerry Geddes, there he is.
Hello.
How are you, sweetheart?
Hello to both of you from Yaz, by the way. I was with him today. So.
Oh my God, we love Yaz, and he's got a
He's
little
great.
boy. Right?
Oh,
got a little-
Axel, yes.
Axel.
Yeah, so adorable. He's got a dream family right there. Remember when you used
I
to
know.
think about Barbie and Ken? I think us gays now can think about Chris and Yaz.
Yeah,
that's going to be
how-
our mode, yeah.
I love it. So many of our great, amazing friends have beautiful children that they love dearly and take such great care of. So it's just nice. I like to follow them on Facebook.
Yes.
So you okay? The reason first of all, I want to thank you for always sending us those beautiful promos of all the shows that you do, because you always have such a star-studded cast. And
That's become one of the trademarks of the show, actually.
oh yeah, like you
Yes.
can't go on. It's just one great singer after another, and a lot of people that we dearly love. Karen Mack,
Yes.
Lauren Muffson, just so many amazing people.
This was actually one of the Fabulous First Fridays that we did in the end of November, beginning of
Okay.
December.
Yeah,
The first Friday in December.
That,
But it was so successful, and people loved it so much, including the cast who all wanted to do it again, that
Yeah.
I spun it off into its own show now. So it's on its own.
okay,
And it's
great.
just called The Celebration of Jimmy Webb,
Okay,
who is my favorite songwriter.
well, I was going to ask you about that because I revisited it today. I said, let me go back and listen to some Jimmy Webb, and there were certain songs that I didn't realize he wrote. Like one of my favorite songs, which Glenn Campbell did, but was redone by Linda Ronstadt. You're still within the sound
yes.
of my voice. Oh my
And
God.
Karen Mack does that.
Oh my God.
Oh,
Karen
yeah.
Mack not just does it, probably crushes it.
She crushes it, for sure.
Oh,
I did
love
a
that song.
a review and a tribute to Jimmy 30 years ago at 88's called Put On Your Saturday Suit with Lauren Muffson and Andre Montgomery, who are both in the show this coming Saturday, doing numbers from that show 30 years ago.
Oh my God. Well, and that's proof that the music doesn't ever go out of style.
His music is great American songbook material. I mean, everything
Yeah.
he writes is great. But one of the reasons I did that show 30 years ago and still today, I want people who know the songs to know who created them. So I want people to know who he is, because everybody knows his songs. Up
Right.
and Away, MacArthur Park, didn't we?
Oh my God.
Lots and lots and lots and lots.
Up and Away is one of it's the soundtrack of so much of my growing up,
Hmm.
and I love the Fifth Dimension. I
Yes.
love them. And then didn't we almost?
Yes, that's in the show as well. Of course.
Yep.
Yes.
And no, not didn't we almost? I'm thinking about it, but didn't we? Girl, did right. I listened to it again today, and it was him singing it. He was very, very young. But my favorite Jimmy Webb song ever written was "Wichita Lineman."
Oh, it's amazing. Yes,
It's
that's
amazing.
in the show as well.
Oh,
I just actually a couple of months ago. There's a book about Wichita Lineman.
oh
The
yeah.
song, because a number of people have claimed it's the best pop song ever written. And I tell the
Wow.
story in the show, but I'll tell it quickly now. When Jimmy was inducted into the Songwriters Hall of Fame, he was inducted by Billy Joel.
Wow.
And instead of talking autobiographically or biographically about Jimmy or listing his credits, he dissected Wichita Lineman. That was his presentation. He sat at the piano and sang it line by line, stopping after each line and talking about it.
Oh my God, that's
And
beautiful.
when he got to my favorite line, maybe that Jimmy ever wrote, and I need you more than want you, and I want you for all time.
Oh, I just got chills.
Yeah,
I had chills.
Yeah. Billy
Beautiful.
Joel said when he got to that point, I would trade every song I wrote to be able to have written those two lines.
Yeah.
And many critics and other songwriters feel that way about that song. So it's one of his great songs, and Glenn Campbell's version is beautiful.
Oh my God! You know who? I got to tell you though. I mean, Glenn Campbell. You're right. It's the classic version. My favorite version though is. Have you ever heard Joe Artizone sing it?
Oh yes.
Do you know what I did one night? He doesn't know. Well, he knows it now because I told him. But Joe Artizone was working at Brandy's. I was working with him, and I actually recorded him, audio recorded, not video, audio recorded him singing it.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't tell him until way, way later, but I often will play that in my car on those nights when I'm so tired and I have to muster up the strength to keep going. Or if something is really, like creatively when we sometimes will hit a wall or we're like, oh.
No, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah, I know. But what I use for my inspiration to jumpstart me again is Joe Artizone singing Wichita Lineman.
What could be better?
It's gorgeous. And Glenn Campbell's I love as well.
Yeah.
That song is so haunting on so many levels.
Yes.
And I mean, I don't want to just, but as is, if you're still within the sound of my voice, also Glenn Campbell did that. But so you put together this cast based on people that had already done it, or
no, just these two people who I knew were still around, and I wanted to have Lauren in the show for a while.
Yeah,
because she's one of my favorite people.
She really
I think,
is.
having worked with her on this, I think she must have a Dorian Gray picture somewhere in a closet because
I know.
She's singing in the same key. She looks the same. She sounds the same. She's as amazing as ever.
Yep.
It's scary almost that she's the same as she was 30 years ago. I don't get it. But it's wonderful.
Yeah, it is wonderful.
In the fall, I made the show co-ed because it had been men up until the fall.
Oh, okay.
So now,
great.
And for this show, I have Lauren, Karen Mack, and Lisa Vigiano.
Oh my God, I love all three of those
So the three
people.
are great. And then my regulars, Matt DiPasquale, Brian Childers, and Andre Montgomery, and Yaz.
Fantastic.
And then another great singer that I work with named Mike Schul, I produced a couple of CDs of his, and he's done a bunch of Jimmy Webb, so he's doing that as well.
And when is this particular show?
Saturday night at 7.
This Saturday.
At Pangea, this coming Saturday at 7.
Saturday at 7, Pangea. Oh my God. Oh my God. And can they get tickets at the door?
I think it's, if I'm looking at this right, it says 7 and 8:30, but it's 7 to 8:30, not
7 to
It's
8:30.
about an hour and 15 minutes. So
okay.
it's just one performance that night. But,
okay.
Hopefully we'll bring it back again because I'm really pleased with it.
Yeah.
And then, as I do with all the shows, I do spoken word stuff woven in between the songs, and I have a number of Jimmy Webb stories that I tell in the course of the evening.
Oh, that's wonderful. That makes it a theater piece.
Yeah, so it's an excerpt from my memoirs, which actually, keep fingers crossed for me. I just turned into a publisher on Friday, so I'm waiting for a decision on it.
Oh, wow.
And then a piece from a newer book that I'm writing. So
that's incredible. Good for you, Gerry. That's
but
really
most of what
great.
I say, I try to then open up and amplify with the people who sing the songs around it. So.
Yeah, well, that's what makes it a theater piece versus just a cabaret show. Bill Goffey said about that line that you talked about.
Yeah.
That is the best line ever written. Yep.
Many people think that. Yes.
Sean says best of luck with that, Gerry, on that. So
Thank you, Sean.
and Juliana Cesari, who was my director at Tony and Tina's wedding, who actually, if it wasn't for Julie, I wouldn't have my equity card. Thank you, Julie, who hired me. I was a young actor in New York City, and she gave me a chance, and I will never forget you for that, Julie. So she says she so enjoys the show. Well, we enjoy having you. Thank you so much. Okay, so Gerry, now are you still doing First Fridays?
Yes, but this is replacing it for this week, for this month. But we'll be back in February with some of this cast and other people as well.
Okay.
I just love doing it, showcasing so many great performers.
Oh my God!
And
How
also
can you go
getting
wrong?
these great songs out there that aren't out there. So.
Yeah, and you know what else it is about these songs? Like, this is my favorite time period of pop music.
Yes.
Like that would be what, like maybe early 70s to like mid 80s, right?
Yeah. Well,
Yeah,
a little late 60s.
Late 60s, right, right, even better. Yeah, so that's 68, 69, right?
Yeah.
I mean, oh my God, that was, to me, maybe, I don't know, maybe it's our ages, maybe because we've seen so much and heard so much beautiful music over the years. And Burt Bacharach, like Jimmy Webb and Burt Bacharach.
There are influences there. Burt Bacharach was first, and you can hear influences in Jimmy and other songwriters of the time. Because Burt was so distinct in the way the rhythms that he wrote.
Yes, you're absolutely right. But also, Jimmy Webb had his own thing going.
Oh, absolutely.
He has that way of just tapping into your own loneliness and that everydayness.
Yes.
You know, that daily grind that we all go through that we feel so alone in. Then the music starts, and you realize, what I am and what I'm feeling and what I go through is felt by others. Yeah. And he's saying it out loud, and it's really beautiful.
Well, the first Glenn Campbell one that became a hit was By the Time I Get to Phoenix,
right,
which Sinatra called the greatest saloon song ever written.
Oh, really?
And he does a killer version of it.
Sinatra, I've never heard. I'm going to have to write that down.
And he does a great version of Didn't We as well.
Oh,
yeah,
that is a killer. And I was a huge fan of Glenn Campbell's growing up.
Yeah,
my dad was too. We always had his albums on.
They did albums together too, Jimmy and Glenn. It was beautiful partnership.
Yes, I've heard that for sure. And also, back then there were shows that Leo and I always talk about this, the variety shows. Glenn Campbell was on so many of those variety shows.
And had his own.
Right. And I love that show. And the Smothers Brothers.
Yeah, well, he started on the Smothers Brothers. And when they took a summer off, he took over and did the show. That's how he started TV.
Wow. We talk about this all the time, don't we, Leo?
Yeah. Yeah, they just had, CNN just did a documentary on Dionne Warwick talking about Bacharach and the music. And she was there singing with Glenn Campbell on his variety show.
Wow. But that's what they used to do. They used to do each other's shows.
Yeah.
And it was really cool.
It's a sad thing that it doesn't happen anymore. But I try to fashion part of what I do with Fabulous First Fridays is trying to get some of that energy and style from those shows. That's my inspiration. Good. Are the 60s variety shows. That's what I try to go after. So.
Well, I feel like so many of us that grew up during that time, we that's kind of what our classroom was,
yes.
It was in a crazy way our virtual classroom. We watched, we learned, we ingested it, and then we mimicked it, or we tried to recreate what we knew of structure of those shows,
And also, that was the outlet back then. There was no YouTube, there were no videos anywhere. You saw that live, and then that was it.
You stayed home to watch.
So it was exciting every week to see who was going to be on and what they were going to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And then you talked about it the next day, either at school or at work.
Yeah.
In the Sonny and Cher show, same thing.
Yes.
I remember waiting for that to come on every Wednesday at 8 o'clock.
Jimmy Webb produced my favorite Cher album as well.
Really?
It's called Stars. It's beautiful.
Oh my God! You know a lot about this. Of course you do.
For better or for worse, I do. Yes.
Stars. No, I love that. I love people that have a lot of knowledge, and somebody has to carry that into the next generation. I think
that's important. That's one of the things I try to do in the stories that I tell in those shows. It's for people who remember, but it's also for people who never got a chance to experience it. I mean, it's for both. So.
And, for those of us who weren't around in the 50s and 60s, I always thank, people that did doo-wop and people that, like my uncle Nicky was a big doo-wop guy. He was about 14 years older than me. So he and his friends used to play that stuff, and I would listen to it. They would sing in the subways, and they would sing on the street. And I was like mesmerized by it. So then when I got older, I looked that up. Even though that wasn't my generation, but I was educated by that. And same thing with all the 40s, that beautiful 40s music. Somebody has to carry these stories into the next generation.
Well, what I did back then, the word wasn't in use, but I was a musical nerd back then. And I would read the backs of the albums and find out who sang backup and who did the arrangement and who produced it. And I would look for those people.
Wow.
So I would buy albums if I recognized the backup singers, even if I didn't know the person who was the star.
Wow.
And Jimmy, as an arranger, a writer, and a producer, his name was on everybody. I mean, Richard Harris and Thelma Houston and Art Garfunkel and Linda Ronstadt and lots of other people.
You're right.
And so he brought me to all these other great performers because of his art.
That's one of the biggest things I miss about albums.
Oh, me too.
Like even CDs, like when I made my first CD and second CD, you could open it and you could read all the notes, the linear notes. But now, like with everything streaming, which, I guess it's convenient in a lot of ways, but you don't get to know all that background stuff.
You also don't get the sense of an album anymore.
No, you don't.
And I loved reading the notes while I was listening. It was part of the experience of
course,
getting to know the album.
You would sit on the floor, you put an album on, and you would just open it and read and daydream. You would daydream about them in the studio, about what you could write, about who was like you said, who was singing background, and you'd learn things that you didn't know. We sat around in groups and listened to albums. That's what we did with our friends, So
just so you know, speaking of friends, the musical director for my initial Jimmy Webb show was Gerry Diefenbach.
Oh, well, he is our buddy for sure.
Yeah, and it was Lauren, and it was Andre, and then Heidi Mollenauer.
Yes, of course. Of course.
Sorry, did somebody say Guns?
Yes, did somebody say
Guns?
Gerry Diefenbach? He is Mr. April.
Oh, yes.
In our calendar. There he is, with all his albums. How sexy is Gerry Diefenbach? Yes. So, we know all about you. Always. And we always will be. He's a sexy guy. So Danielle says she's a musical nerd here too. Thank God for musical nerds. Somebody's got to pay attention. And you know what? We could talk for hours, Jer. But that's what. There's a great video series or documentary called "Girl Groups: The Story of a Sound." And Gerry Diefenbach turned me onto it, and it's about...
I wouldn't be surprised if he turned you onto it, yes.
He turned me onto it, The Wall of Sound, and it's all about those girl groups and who produced what, and also how the background singers would switch out and become the four, like Darlene Love used to do some background for some people. Then she would do a record, then somebody else would switch out, and then they would do a record. They helped each other out.
I thought at one point there were only four girls, and they just traded off lead and took a different name every time they did.
I think
so all of those songs.
The Bobby Sox, right?
And a lot of them would be recorded. They would record black girls, and they would record white girls, and then they would layer them on some of those pieces as well.
And also, sad to even say this, but this was the reality. Most of those songs and things were originally recorded by black artists, and but they couldn't get enough play on the radio, so they had to have people like Pat Boone re-record them.
Yes.
Oh God.
Is that ridiculous? Yeah. Kind of ridiculous. All right. Well, Gerry, tell everybody once again where you will be Saturday night.
Okay, it's called The Celebration of Jimmy Webb, and if you don't know who he is, Google him. He's brilliant. He and Sondheim are my two favorite songwriters, and they're on an equal level.
I can see why.
And so it's going to be at Pangea, which is a great place with great food.
Yep.
At 11th Street and 2nd Avenue.
Okay.
Saturday the 7th at 7 p.m.
Beautiful. And
with a cast of thousands. Tickets are available online. There's Joe DiPengia's website, or I have an event page on Facebook. There's a lot of places.
Okay, and $20 a ticket, you really can't.
$20 in advance online, and then $25 at the door.
Okay, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
So I would encourage people to get.
It's going to be a great night, I think.
Yeah, it really
Yeah.
is. It's going to be wonderful. Well, we're looking forward to it, and
Yeah.
I thank you for always sending us stuff so that we.
Thank you for all your support.
Oh
for
my
everybody.
God.
Not just me, but for everybody.
First of all, I love you. I love everybody, the people that I know. There are a few people that I don't think I do know personally. I do know of their performing. But Karen Mack and Lauren Muffson and Lisa Vigiano are my friends, and Andre Montgomery. I mean, my God. And Yaz is, I've worked with Yaz and I love Yaz. And Leo, he was Leo's musical director for his one-man show. I mean,
that's why he said to
from
say
a musical.
both of you this afternoon. He said, "Oh, you've got to say hi to them for me because I love them." So I did.
Wow, thank you so much. And this is what Danielle said, and I couldn't agree with you more. I found that music is like love. The spirit always remembers, whether it's past lives or dementia patients. The music is always there beneath the surface. 100%. I agree.
Yes.
If I want to write anything, if I'm needing to write, I put on a song that will evoke those memories.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And
there's a great country song called "The Song Remembers When."
I love that song.
Yes.
And another one of my favorite songwriters, Hugh Prestwood.
Oh, I love Hugh Prestwood.
Oh my God!
In one of Montgomery's first cabaret shows, I had him do Hugh Prestwood's "Dorothy." Do you know that?
I don't think so, but
check
now
it
I
out.
have to.
It's about Dorothy 30 years later regretting that she left Oz.
Oh
it's
my
a
God.
brilliant song.
So my
Amanda
favorite.
McBroom recorded it it's on YouTube by her.
I'm gonna make.
But Andre's is my favorite version.
Oh my God! I'm gonna have to look that up. And Hugh Prestwood, my favorite song he ever wrote was called "Ghost in This House."
Oh, absolutely.
Oh, look that up.
We need a Gerry dissertation to turn it into a musical. You can get like the history of rock and roll just from your head. Just pull it out, and we can put the songs in between it, Gerry.
I love it. I love
Mr. Gerry's opus.
I actually have a show like that already that's called Selfies and Songs.
Oh, I love it. It's fantastic.
That does that with mostly Broadway rather than rock and roll, but
it's gorgeous.
But it's that idea. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Where's the script? I'm ready.
That's another series right there.
Yes.
Jer. Well, thank you. I can't
thank
say
you and
enough
Happy New Year, you guys.
Same to you, and we had to have you because it's the first show of the first year and first.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
You're very welcome. So always continue to send Leo and I your promos.
Oh, I will.
Always promote your stuff.
Great.
All right. Thank you,
Thanks
my sweetheart.
Bye bye. Love you both. Bye bye.
Love you too.
Bye. Love you.
Bye, Gerry. Gerry Geddes. Fantastic. It's going to be really, really good. I can't say enough about, oh my God, that stage, that night in particular is full of talk about top-notch, incredible, not just actors, but people that believe what they're singing. Like Lauren Muffson, I always say this, I work with her on Saturdays. I've told her so many times, I'm like, Lauren, you know that song you just did? I've heard it a million times, but I never really listened to it. Like, she will sing it like a monologue.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden you're like, oh, now I understand. And it's beautiful.
You know, there's a song I've been working on. When you talk about it, one that I've looked at that's not my song, but since we talk about adoption and stuff, do you remember the song, I've Been to Paradise?
Yeah.
I would like that to me is one of those songs that I would like to sing now to the mothers back then that were giving up or that were living.
Yeah.
But I can see where you do the monologues where you talk like that, and that's what music is for, isn't it? To communicate those expressions when you can't really find the words.
Right.
And how healing it is for the people that hold on to those songs or need those songs, or even Alzheimer's patients. That's what, a lot of them can't remember their names and such, but they can remember the songs in those moments.
Our friend Patty Connolly, Patty on the Piano, a.k.a. Patty on the Piano, works with Alzheimer patients, and he said that most of the time they don't know what day it is, what year they're in, who the president is. They don't even always remember the names, but they know every single lyric to every song he plays. Yeah. And he will play the songs of their era, and he's like, it's like clockwork. They are right in there. So that goes with what Danielle was saying about that, and I agree 100%.
Hey, before we talk about the past, can we talk about kind of the future, present?
Yeah. Oh my God! Talk about a present. So who is that? That is Miss January in our 2023 calendar, because it is officially 2023. Who is Miss January? She's just not our friend Elaine Feliciano. She is Peter Feliciano, Mr. November 2022.
They're married. Look at that. That's a power couple right there.
Yeah, with a really nice kitchen.
Oh my. Uh-huh.
You know who designed that kitchen? Joe Cangelosi.
Wow.
Our friend of Joe Cangelosi Designs. I mean, if that's not a beautiful kitchen, I don't know what is. And two beautiful people cooking in that beautiful kitchen with nothing but the apron.
Nothing but now that was January 2023.
23. And she was so nervous. She was so nervous about, she wanted to be in it. When Peter was in the first year, she was like, you didn't ask me. I said, Elaine, you can be in it next year. And then she eventually, she was like, I want to do it. And I said, then you have to be January, because she's born on New Year's Day, on Christmas Day. I'm sorry, January 1st. But guess who was born on New Year's Eve? New Year's Eve? Guess which one of our friends
ruined his mother's New Year's Day, is what I understand.
Oh my God! And why do we always say he was baby New Year last year, and he's the first? He is the first everything. He was our first guest on the show ever. He was our first calendar boy ever in our.
I think I have his wardrobe from the first show that he was in with you. I think isn't this what he wore?
I don't know where you got that.
Isn't that what he wore? I think that's what he wore.
What is that? Can you please explain, Krista Pierro, Yankee fan extraordinaire? What is going on there?
That's Lance Hyman.
Oh, Lance Hyman.
Yes, he was a member of the Birdie's Bachelorette Party cast.
Oh.
Yes.
Wow. These are really cute. Krista Pierro, how are you, my love?
Guys, did you hear that Aaron Judge won the MVP?
Of course.
Did you hear that?
I think he did. Right?
Oh, my God, yeah. I just wanted to make sure you knew that.
How about the picture I sent you of Aaron Judge at Brandy's? He was trying to get in. He's gigantic, number one. Incredibly handsome. He was trying to get in, but he looked inside, and it's pretty. There's a lot of people that come in there. It's pretty crowded. And he said, is there a way I could get a private table? And it's so, it's pretty small that we're like, we can't guarantee you a crowded table, or that you wouldn't be completely surrounded by hot chicks throwing themselves at you.
Singing drunkenly to
Imagine being that big.
I know. Imagine. But listen, I'm always trying to get you to come to Brandy's, because it's straight girl city.
Right.
And you are a straight guy, except for Lance Hyman. That's another story. He played Lance. But he's a straight guy.
Yes.
I always tell you, come into Brandy's. They're going to love you. They're going to love you.
I need to.
Lance.
I won't dress like that, but I'll definitely stop in.
Please.
How about like this?
Oh, yeah. That would go over well, I think. But he took one for the team on that, because he was our very first. So, Chris, you will always be our first everything.
Oh, my God, I'm Mr. First. How cool is that?
You know what else? So you will always be first place in all those things. You know what else you did that people need to know? It was Chris's idea to go StreamYard, which is the format we use right now, because you wanted to do that political show, and you're like, I'm going to zoom you guys in, just follow this link. And it was StreamYard, and then you taught it to Leo, and Leo took it over and started doing that. And when there was a time when Leo couldn't do one show because there was a blackout in Idlewild, and Chris ran the show.
Yep.
So you are the understudy for
You're the hero.
He is the hero.
The proud. I taught
You're the Godfather.
About StreamYard.
Well, you introduced us to it, so we want to thank
That's
you.
all I did. I said, try StreamYard. And we did, it's great. It's an easy tool to use. A lot of people tell me that there's other better ones out there, but I have no reason to look elsewhere.
And,
So, well, Happy New Year, guys. I'm so happy.
Happy birthday, brother from another mother.
Yeah.
Thank you.
What did you do for your birthday? Anything fun?
Friends and family.
Good.
I stopped by the Barilli's.
Oh, nice.
On New Year's Day Yes, for brunch, and
Oh,
that was
that's
fun.
fun.
Yeah,
That's great.
and yeah, just a very quiet evening at home.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
good though. Now I was going to ask you, you're still teaching, and not just teaching, but your students love you. Didn't they give you like an amazing gift, like a great jacket or something?
They gave me a varsity jacket that weighs about 30 pounds, and it's awesome. I wish I had it here, but it's at the school.
Yeah, that's
And,
okay.
they surprised me with it last year, and it's just amazing. I don't have that one big heavy jacket that I could just throw on when it's 0 degrees and not worry about it. And I loved them. But this year senior class, they got me a pair of sneakers, some Nike Dunks.
What?
Are you familiar with the Dunks? Anybody?
Yeah, of course. Of course, those are like a lot of them are one of a kind. It's a big
Yes.
deal.
I love them. You know, they're Hudson County kids, and I was a Hudson County kid once, and there's nothing better than I have no kids, Maria. So
No, me neither. That's why. Well, we're teachers, so we
Yes.
we have
I
lots
get
of
it.
kids. We just don't have to take them home and feed them. Or
Thank you, D. Thank you, D.
Yeah. So happy birthday, says D. And also, absolutely, I've worked with people that hold on. What else? Lisa Vigiano, Hudson County. Yes, she says you would love Lisa. She's married though, so don't fall in love.
The girl that you showed it on the calendar, the first thing I looked at was her left hand, and there's a huge rock on her face.
Yeah, well,
I mean, unbelievable.
Elaine Feliciano, who is Miss January, you were Mr. January last year. Her husband is Peter Feliciano. So yes, she is married. But
Yes, I heard.
I know you have a knack for liking pretty girls, but they're always married. So you're like, okay, I'm.
Yes. Or they
Not
live
available.
3,000 miles away, like Darcy.
I know, and I always say you and Darcy, man, what a fun couple that would be. But she's in California.
Yeah. Oh, Bayonne. Wait a second.
Wait, that's Lisa. Lisa's in Bayonne. That's right, Bayonne here. Rena
Hi,
says-
Rena.
Rena, we love Rena. Rena, actually, my Ziana, who is Rena's mom, is celebrating a big birthday this month, and we are going to try to pull something together on the show. Rena, we have to talk. You would love my Ziana. You'd love her cooking for sure. Now, Chris.
Say it.
So you have so much going on all the time, but I heard a rumor from Lynn Portis, genius.
Oh, as you say her name.
Oh my God, there she is. That you are starting
Yes.
some serious filming again on Gavon's Produce,
Yes.
which is your very, very, very funny and incredibly intelligent and thoughtful web series.
It definitely got to that point. Yes.
Yeah, but I think the stuff you've been doing lately is better than anything you've ever done.
Yeah.
So can you tell us a little bit about it?
Yes. I got the bug back big time, and Lynn has a friend, Alex. He lives out on Long Island. He's a handicapped, and I wanted to get him into Galvone's Produce because I saw him online on Facebook, and he just has a lot of personality, this kid. And he was Lynn's friend. I said, come on, let's work him in. Let's make him a Galvone.
That's incredible. Let me see. Leo, can we try to send Lynn Portis, maybe Zoom her in to this?
God.
See if she can join us. Maybe Leo can send the link. You know, Leo's amazing like that because Lynn Portis told me, and I didn't want to get into detail because I said if Chris will talk about whatever Chris wants to talk about. But Lynn called me the other day, just was, as she always does, just raving about what an incredible person you are and an incredible, just like visionary that you are. So
Yeah, that's a word you could use, I guess.
yeah, but you see things that others don't see, and I love that about you. Like that's what I love about all the stuff that you create, and not just that, but you give all of us a chance. You have always used your friends. So this is Gavon's Produce. Now, the old episodes, can people still catch them online?
Yeah, you could go on YouTube and just search Galvone's Produce, and all of the episodes will come up. That was just Artie Pasquale and Silvana Mastrolia. Just two great friends of mine who were just involved with the show. And, my style is very loose, Maria. I have an idea of what I want the scene to be. and I just find a cool location, and I feed the lines to the actors. We do a couple of rehearsals. I tell them what to say, and the next thing you know, by the fifth by the fifth take, everybody's nailing their lines, and there's no need to read a script or memorize lines. Just show up and get ready, and it's been working out. I can't do it any other way. I can't sit down and write a script. Yeah, and have people then change it if the location closes down or something.
Okay, so let me tell a quick story.
Yeah.
So Leo, let me see if you could just take that off for a second.
That's our first episode with Paul Bruno. This was just a test shoot for us, and it went so well that it became like our first episode.
But and there's really no way to find. I don't know, Leo, if there's a way to find the episode. But 2 years ago, I think it was New Year's Eve, maybe 3 years ago. New Year's Eve, I was at Judy's doing this show live because it fell on a Tuesday, and Jeffrey Campbell and Stephen Elbell were with me, and you showed up at Judy's and surprised me during the show. It was New Year's Eve, which meant it was your birthday.
That's right.
You surprised me, and you said, I got to go because I'm working on something. I was like, okay, great, give you a hug, happy birthday, and you were off. And where did you go? You went and filmed.
Yeah.
So he had to make it before this midnight. He went onto the Hudson River in the Jersey side and filmed an episode of Gavon's Produce that ended up being like a mind-blowing episode.
Yeah.
So talk about loose, like that's
almost literally mind-blowing, because my character who tried to kill himself was going to shoot himself in the head and commit suicide, unfortunately.
Your character, right.
So I left your apartment. I drove down to Weehawken. I knew a spot right on the Hudson River where I could see Times Square, at least the lights and stuff like that. I knew there was going to be fireworks, and the Empire State Building is just amazing looking. Right. And I just, I videotaped all the fireworks going on down there at Times Square, and then later on that night, I turned the camera around and, recorded me putting a gun to my head and intercut that with, Times Square and the countdown, and, I mixed some music in there, and Lynn Portis, of course, came up with this great music, and it just came out
the show. Yeah,
so cool. It came out really well, and I didn't know why my character was going to kill himself that night. I had no idea. I just said, you know what, it would be really cool if I go down there.
You didn't even know.
I had no reason. I said I'll worry about the reason later, and then I was talking to Lynn Portis. I said, Lynn, I got a problem. I don't know why my character is going to try and kill himself. I said, I don't have a reason. I'm trying to come up with him. And she says, Chris, a lot of people are doing DNA tests nowadays, and they're finding out they're not really who they are.
Wow.
And I said, what a great idea, because my character wasn't really the type that would kill himself.
Right.
And
there it is. That's why, Leo, that's why I wanted to stop you on the other thing, because I wanted to see if we get to this. Leo's amazing. Thank you, honey. So he left Judy's apartment.
No, you know what? That's a different episode. But Leo, I should have told you, look for episode 13, I think. That episode, real quick, I threw a fake body into the Hudson River.
Oh, my God, I know. And then a fake body. But wait, the police didn't know it was a fake body, the real police.
I left the area, and I came back 3 hours later, and this search was going on.
Oh, my God.
And I was like, I can't, and I got this great footage of the search. And, it was just crazy. That's the episode that I was like, oh my God, I didn't even plan this, and I have boats out on the river, police boats and stuff.
Oh my God, that was crazy. And okay, let's take a minute and do the section of our show called "Go Ahead, Keep Eating."
I'm waiting.
And Leo, do you want to join us on the "Go Ahead, Keep Eating"?
He's working hard trying to get Lynn, find the episode.
I know. Don't worry about it. So me and Chris and I will do it. All right.
No, I was trying to find in episode 13.
I know. All right. But I love when you join us. John was out there on the tugboat that night. John, as her son, was an engineer on a tugboat.
Yes.
He was out there that night when it happened. How crazy.
Unbelievable.
Unbelievable.
Guerrilla filmmaking, you're right, Lynn. Just go out and start shooting some. Have some kind of an idea.
What is it? CG Multimedia Entertainment, right?
Yes.
SIGI. What is that?
Self-funded independent guerrilla style improv media.
I love it. I love it. Keith Torgan has joined us. We love Keith Torgan. Sorry, I'm
What's
late.
up, Keith?
That's okay, Keith. Happy New Year to you. All right, we're doing the food section of our show called 1, 2, 3. Get
ahead.
Keep eating. Just like our mugs say, just like our tote bags say, although our tote bags have been discontinued, but I think I have 4 left. If you still want a tote bag, these are 2 items are $10.
The collector's items now, they're not going to be the same again. So
No,
That's
they're
a
not.
limited edition.
The
That's
blue
collector's
apron, of course, is our biggest seller. That's $25. And to complement the blue apron, the Nothing But the Apron calendar, which is $15. By the way, I only have a handful of these left, and we're going to reorder. Leo's been working tirelessly, but they're out of this size.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about a month or so, maybe not, maybe a few weeks. But if you want one, hurry up and let me know, and I'll get this out to you. It's only $15. Okay. What did I make tonight? I am not quite back on my diet because I like to push it as far as I can.
Yeah.
But I ordered my Factor 75, Leo, for tomorrow.
Happy and free 2023.
Happy and free 2023. But I'm pushing it tonight. I'm having fusilli with shrimp and peas that was cooked in sherry, onions, I know, and garlic. Just simple, and butter. Little truffle butter in there too. Delicious, delicious. There it is. And then
I'm jealous because I know Chris can walk over the bridge and have some of that right now, and I can't.
he'll swim across because he's gorilla style. Okay, what did I make for a salad? I made romaine lettuce with Persian cucumbers, red onion, cranberries, dried cranberries, and I took these almonds, these beautiful almonds with wasabi, and I chopped them up, crushed them good, and then those are my crunch. And I'm putting a green chili oil on this from the Boston Olive Oil Company, green chili oil, and I'm going to use the cranberry extra virgin olive oil on this. It's going to be delicious.
Green and
red. Yeah, going with that. And then for dessert, and then tomorrow I start. Tomorrow I will start. But for now, I'm going to sneak in a flan from my local Dominican bakery. I'm going to have a flan. And that's it. I can't fit into my pants. I'm wearing sweatpants now. That's how I know it's time. I'm wearing sweatpants right now.
Mr. April from 2022 just tuned in.
Mr. April from 2022, Jay Rivera.
Jay, what's up, Jay?
Oh, my God. Jay, hey, listen. Yeah, by the way, you guys, look at your Facebook evites because I invited you to something for next week. If you can, we're not talking about it's a private party. But, Jay, that sounds amazing, Maria. Thank you, honey. I know, Leo, I wish you could be there. But you're in Idlewild. Maybe we'll have to Zoom you in. We'll have to, FaceTime you in. So, okay, we've talked about our food. Now, speaking of food, you film at a lot of these restaurants, right, with amazing actors. And Sylvana's still in it, right? She is.
Yep.
Who else do you have that we might know?
I don't know if you know Christopher Greco, also known as Guapo Grande.
Oh, my God, yes. Did you have him?
Yes, he's a professional wrestler, yes. And
Rena's dad was a wrestler. I bet Rena knows him. And her brothers. Yeah.
Oh,
Rena's
Guapo
dad
Grande, yeah.
Was a famous wrestler.
Great actor, great kid. I've known him since he was born.
Wow.
And, you lose touch with people, and then all of a sudden they come back, and he came through for me. I needed somebody in a pinch. Somebody kind of dropped out one night, and he just came right onto the set. And he got punched in the nose a couple of times, and he fell out of the car, and just crazy stuff. And
I couldn't believe that. That was an intense. I'm not going to lie. That was a very intense episode.
Yeah.
That was really intense.
Yeah. You know what? I got to get you involved, Maria. I got to get, more of the Tony and Tina's wedding people.
Anytime. You know, I will anytime do anything for you. You just let me know. I'll show up and do what. I was in your movie quickly. Oh, my God. Look at you. Jesus Christ.
Yeah, that was some night. That was during COVID, and nobody was in Times Square.
Wow.
And if you scroll to the beginning, I think, Leo, yeah, there's Chris Greco. Wow, that's awesome.
Leo's
That's the great Eric Van Zanten right there. He's a teacher. There's Chris Greco.
Oh my God.
And there's Michael Hennessy who punched him. Boom.
Oh, wow.
And then I think if you scroll a little bit more, and right in that section, Leo, you could see the suicide, the attempt suicides. It should be the next kind of thing coming up.
Wow, just incredible. Incredible. There's Sylvana Mastrolia. We love Sylvana. All right, keep going.
A little bit more right.
Sylvana.
A little bit more right there. Oh, that was a hit.
That was a crazy scene. That scene rattled me. That scene really rattled me.
Great Zach Guido right there, an extra. I didn't have too many extras.
Yeah, but you really used all your friends. That's
I loved. These guys are, I didn't know the guy on the left. The priest is my friend from childhood. This is one of their friends, and Sylvana's dad put little stickers on the window to make gunshots.
Oh my God.
And it worked out pretty well,
But this is filmed in the streets of Jersey.
Yes, this is Sal's Pizzeria in beautiful West New York, New Jersey.
Oh my God. Oh no, this is awful.
They tried to shoot Paul, but they got the priest. Keep that going, keep it going.
Oh my God, awful.
And it's the next scene, Leo. Just let it go right into the scene, and this is the suicide right here.
Wow, so this is you on the night that you came to see me first.
Yes.
Oh my God.
So that's kind of like Times Square. You got all of this, and you hear 10, 9, 8, 7, 6.
I was on the edge of my seat. Oh,
Look at that,
Oh, my God.
That's my friend Petey. That's who I spent New Year's Eve with. My friend, my bunkmate from college.
Oh, my God.
That's Rob Meyer and his beautiful daughter.
She was great, that little girl.
Yes, you'll see her again in the upcoming episodes.
But that's what I mean. You use everybody. And I love that. Yeah, anytime. If you need anything, you just let me know, and I'll be there. Don't you worry.
Yeah.
I can play anything you want. I'm happy to do it. And Jay Rivera, Chris, congratulations. Good stuff. Hey, Jay Rivera.
That's another great idea.
Jay Rivera is an amazing actor.
Thank you. Yes, Jay, he is. And
he's in a couple of Lavinia's videos.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I definitely met Jay through you guys.
Oh, yeah, at my parties.
Yeah.
Yeah, a couple of my parties. Jay was there, and you were there as well.
Great voice. And,
such a great singer. Amazing. Okay, so now, as we're coming to the end of our show, how can Leo, thank you for all that hard work behind the scenes. Oh my God. So tell everybody we love Jay. Yeah, we do love Jay. How long do we have to wait for this to come out? Or in the meantime, catch up on the first Gavones. What do they go to on YouTube?
Just go to YouTube and search Gavones Produce.
Gavone Produce. Gavones Produce.
Yep. And you'll see all the episodes that we did a few extra scenes, I think, that we might have not made the cut. Just when I shaved my head and grew a beard.
Oh, my. I saw you during COVID because I dropped off sauce, and I didn't even know it was you.
Yeah.
I came to your apartment and dropped it off, and you came to the door. I was like, Chris, are you okay? I thought you looked like a homeless person. It's for the shoot. It's for the shoot.
Yep. I just let the beard grow, and then I shaved my head. And for a month, I had the shaved head. I was going crazy.
Oh, my God.
But it worked out fine. You could go to ChrisDePierro.com. Look for Alex Salvaggio. Alex Salvaggio in the next episode. A great new actor from Long Island.
Okay.
And we had a great shoot with him. He's pumped up to see it, and I
am so excited about Alex because Lynn was telling me about it. That is an amazing thing.
The kid improved. He improved, and had some great ideas that we.
He's handicapped.
Yeah,
and he's in a wheelchair, and he is an actor in your movie. I mean, in your series now, and he's amazing, right?
Yes, he's a Gavone now.
He's a like it or not, Alex, you're a Gavone now.
It's literally because the DNA test came back on him, and he's a Gavone.
I love it.
So he has a stake in the business now. He's part owner.
That is great.
Yeah, it read, you're entitled to $15 million. And so he gets very excited. And his face is just, his features just nailed it.
Oh my God.
Salvaggio. Thank you, Lynn.
Well, wait, Danielle, who actually also lives on Long Island. She's a spiritual medium, by the way. I do want to plug Danielle quickly. Danielle is a spiritual medium. I had a session with her that blew my mind and was so incredible that I ended up gifting it to a few very important people in my life. My Ziana is having her session this week. So, and she says, Gavone is not a term I usually associate with produce. Great name. Great name. Rizzo wants to say happy birthday. She said, Rizzo, say happy birthday.
Rizzo. I mean, it wasn't just cuter than Rizzo.
No, she just turned 13.
Wow.
Her birthday's in December. So, okay, we have to close our show because we're at the end of it. But you know, I love you. You're my buddy.
You too, Leo.
Leo's amazing. Jerry, Jerry's back. So this episode is our first.
I didn't know I was coming back.
Well, like it or not, Jerry. So make sure you go see Jerry's Jimmy Webb celebration this Saturday, 7 p.m. at Pangea, which is on 2nd Avenue and 2nd and 11th, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's a great location. It's a wonderful neighborhood. And then go and check out Gavone's Produce, which is the series, an incredible web series by my friend, writer, actor, producer, and filmmaker.
Funny guy.
And the first guest I ever had on my show, who thank God because he helped me with everything, the first guy to introduce us to StreamYard. He is New Year's Eve baby, and just the first. He's the first guy. He was our first baby New Year and our first calendar. There he is. Chris, you will always be our first guest on every January show. And good luck, Gerry.
Thank you.
All right. Leo,
Love you so much, man.
You are amazing. We love you. And I'm so excited for the new Gavone's Produce. Yay! All right, everybody. Good night.
Happy New Year, everybody.
Up there. Bye-bye. Love you.
Happy New Year.